And the peculiar thing about it is that they're adventurers for hire, and you have these competing things like approaching the quest from a different angle, so to speak. But you have to allow the players to kind of decide like what motives are good motives, right? You have someone wants you to steal an object. So the quest is the same. It's steal the object, let's say. But maybe one of them wants it for one purpose and another one wants it for another purpose, or even a third group wants it for a third purpose. When the fun typically happens in the PCs deciding how they can affect what happens. They can decide to give thing A to group A, or to group B or to group C or however many different factions you have, and then they can really feel like they're kind of carving out their place in the adventure and like deciding the outcome instead of just being errand boys. And that's not typically very fun for very long to just be an errand boy. I do think it's kind of peculiar that your PCs like called you out. And again, I do think you want PCs like that in your group. You want them to be able to call out when you maybe make lazy storytelling choices,
Mhm.
because it shows that they're paying attention and that they're engaged in the story and that they kind of expect better of you. This is how you get better. So don't consequence them like just for calling you out. Uh, it is because essentially they're committing a party foul too, whether they know it or not. And the party foul is just this: they're metagaming. What they're doing is they're
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I see. He's railroading us, so our characters are going to demand tons of gold in order to do this quest."
Yep.
It's like if
Because
you're if
what is he gonna do if we don't take the quest? What is he gonna fucking do?
right,
So
that's
so so yeah, pay up, motherfucker, or else we're not gonna go on your adventure.
right. But it's like, okay, so you're telling me your PCs, the characters in the game wouldn't think this. If they have good reasons why what was offered is not good enough for the party, independent of the metagaming of the railroading, then that's a ripe opportunity for some good role playing, right? It's what you would
Hmm.
call a negotiation. You're negotiating back and forth, and they're just like putting, their foot down because they know that you've committed a party foul, but they're committing one too. But rather than consequence them for that, the better tactic would be to consequence them in the world for simply snubbing the Thieves Guild. And that's perfectly within line. Like if you had planned the Thieves Guild to be the quest giver in this particular instance, then presumably they are embedded in the plot of the adventure in some
Hmm.
way. They're not just going to be like, "Oh, you don't want the quest," and then just go away for the rest of the adventure. So try to think through what they would do. There's nothing wrong with the the Thieves Guild like taking vengeance upon them or working contrary to their goals, because as I already stated, if they're approaching it if you give them some other quest seeds that lead to the same quest, or at least one that is adjacent, then in a real way they're going to be competing against the Thieves Guild's interests. So for them to seek reprisal, especially if the PCs were particularly obnoxious about refusing the quest, there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with the leader of a thieves guild should be kind of a, fearsome person. He's not going to be, or she is not going to be some pushover that just goes, "Oh shucks, I guess you don't want the quest. Never mind. Like we'll give you whatever you want." It's like, well, that kind of breaks the world, and also subtextually communicates to your players some things that you don't want to subtextually
Yeah,
communicate, which is,
I've had this a few times with newer players
yeah,
that like they don't even know what metagaming means yet,
mm-hmm,
but they've done this before where they know that it's I've made it pretty obvious that this is the hook to the adventure. If they don't take this, there's nothing to do, and they'll try to pull one over on them for either a power trip or for some extra monetary gain. And it's just like, it's like I get where you're coming from. You're playing the game, but it's also kind of cheap and shitty at the same time.
but let this be a cautionary tale to anybody listening and to this, writer. Thanks for writing, by the way. Thanks for listening and valuing what we might have to say about this. Uh, but it's a valuable lesson to not vanguard the thrust of the plot behind one thing, because again, if the main arc is important, and I'm just going to emphasize this again, I know I already said it, but if the main arc is important, then it has to be important to more than one person or
Yeah.
more than one organization. And so there are plenty of other entry points. And when in the future you're trying to think about this is the main plot, there's nothing wrong with a side quest having one quest giver, right?
Hmm.
Some merchant needs his particular caravan of goods. I keep using just the kind of escort and fetch quests because that's
Yeah.
what most quests are.
Hmm.
Needs his particular goods to get safely to a destination. Hardly anybody else is invested in that, which is why it would be a side quest. It's better, as I noted in last week's episode, if you can figure out a way to tie all side quests to the main quest, it'll be much more organic than PCs keep hearing the same rumors repeatedly. That's an indicator that it's a quest because a lot of people are talking about it, and it touches a lot of different things from the government to the guilds to the common folk to industry to things like that. And so if it's a rumor and people are hearing a lot of it, then it's a pretty good indicator that it touches a lot of things. But the main quest especially should touch a lot of things. It should have impacts beyond whether the PCs go on the quest. Even if they choose to not go on the quest, there should be implications for that.
Hmm.
And what are the implications for that? And so if this is something that really needs to be done, then it should be important to the plot moving forward, and just think through like who are the other people that are invested, and is there another way you can give them, and if you're smart you'll give them more than one option so that they can pick. Yeah, we don't like this, we don't like House Durham, we're not going to do
Yeah.
their quest, and we're going to do a quest that competes with it. Then they are really affecting the outcome of the adventure, even though the plot is still going in one direction. How you get there is really important to the PCs because they want to feel like they're navigating. And I would posit that if your players are so hung up on like how much gold they're going to get, then you need to kind of tinker some of the sliders a little bit because they should be invested in the plot more than that they're going to get a reward. They should get rewards, but I can tell you from running a more sword and sorcery style game, even just for like, 5 6 weeks now, how much gold are we going to get? And we need gold is not it's a super good motivator. So you want to try to pull the PCs into the drama of what is happening so that they're invested in it and they care about the quest independent if there's a reward. I mean, the savvy PCs aren't going to do something for free. But again, this is presuming there are some sort of mercenaries or just hired swords. And generally speaking, heroic fantasy kind of hinges on a little bit more than that. Give them reasons to be invested. Give them reasons to care about how this might impact uh, other guilds or businesses or nobles or the fucking tavern owner or even the PCs directly. Then they'll feel a pull to go on the quest, and this won't be a problem anymore. But you have to just think in terms of what's the engine that's driving the story, and
Mm.
usually, and the engine that drives the story is the plot, and the plot needs to, even if it's going to arrive at like a certain destination, um, which roads you take to get there are important too.
Yeah. David already put in here that David Yan, that is, already put in that you were able to find a way to get your actual adventure to pan out and started, and but now instead of being, I guess, as you said in the email here, butthurt about it and having that bad taste in your mouth, yeah, go ahead and use the Thieves Guild as maybe like a secondary adversary throughout
Yeah,
the adventure now. That's just something, that's some new, that's a new loaded side, flavor to add into it from now on. Maybe they are now like marked as enemies from the Thieves Guild, and that could be fun because those agents can be in multiple cities.
yeah,
I don't know if they still deal with that in D&D like they used to, but in AD&D, and maybe before, back when like thief was just a class itself instead of rogue, where, well, thief was always a class, But you know how like Bard and Thief were in AD&D were
Yeah,
a rogue class.
they were a rogue class. Yeah.
But before Bard, it was just Thief, and I think even then, like Thieves can't came from because of the network. There was a Thief network,
Yeah.
uh, and they were all connected through this network. And no matter where you went to whatever city, you could always find somebody a part of this network that was a part of a guild, and
Yeah.
that can really fuck over, or not fuck over, but it can throw some wrinkles into an adventure that make it
Yeah.
for fun gameplay.
Yeah, and it's perfectly reasonable for the leader of a thieves guild to take the whole "you're either with us or against us"
Hmm.
mentality, right? Like, oh, you've declined, and not only is that like it wasn't like a no thank you, it was like making demands, and so if you make demands, then and if you're particularly haughty about it, then you've communicated to the guild wanted to employ them presumably because they're powerful, and so they're already powerful, and now they've shown scorn toward the thieves guild. So just as I suggested, like the quest should get them in another way. It should come at them even if they don't find, like, it should make itself known that it is in a variety of different areas. But the thieves guild, the guy that runs the thieves guild, is also going to be aware of this. He's
Hmm.
going to be aware that, like, look, this is an important thing, and you're powerful, which is why I wanted you to work for me, but now you've shown scorn toward me, and you're likely to meddle in this affair. And now I've let you know about it, and you're likely to meddle in it, and you've scoffed at my offer, so now you're just my enemy, and
Yeah.
now I will be, working against you. Like, it might be a little cheap to just have the thieves guild send out assassins to come kill them, like,
Right.
because they refused, because that's not really very practical. But they're going somewhere or whatever, then they should be running into maybe other adventurers that did take the quest.
That's
um
what exactly I was going to bring up next was that's one of the best parts of Shadowrun or Cyberpunk games that I really enjoy is that because the runner teams, edge runners from Cyberpunk, Shadowrunners from Shadowrun, these teams are everywhere.
mhm,
Uh, and you could think in a D&D campaign, in any fantasy, high fantasy, whatever, adventurers are groups. There are quite a bit of them. It's
mhm,
it's a known profession. That's what people do.
yeah,
But I always love in cyberpunk games putting a team against another one because this team either, uh, you know, shot down one of the jobs and said, "Fuck no, we're not doing that because we have morals," or they're not paying us enough. There's always another team that's going to take that job, and
yeah.
sometimes the person that hires them puts a little extra. They say, "We'll pay you an extra 10K if you send a message to this last team that you know disgraced us or whatever."
Yeah, and so it's that's perfectly logical and perfectly reasonable to kind of think in those terms. Now, maybe the town that they're in isn't big enough. I mean, adventuring is still a pretty rare profession, at least it's
Mm,
supposed to be in D&D. Um, and so thinking in terms of, I always say only about one out of every 1,000 players in the D or 1,000 characters in the D&D world is an adventurer.
yeah.
And of all adventurers, about half of them are first level.
Mm,
And so if the PCs are seventh, eighth, ninth level or something like that, there's probably not going to be a rough and ready band of like ninth level adventurers in a small like town. If you're in some massive metropolis, then maybe, but PCs of that level should be dealing with things that are, they should be the only PCs in a region, like a province or something, a county, or maybe even a duchy, that can handle this problem. And if
mm,
they are that, like, they do have that much strength and clout, then they've made it known that they're not moving with the Thieves Guild and likely moving against him in some way. And so they will take measures to ensure that that doesn't happen. But you need to answer the question, like I said at the top, of, like, why can't the Thieves Guild do this themselves?
yeah. Yeah.
Why can't they? Or why did they want the PCs to do it? And so, but that raises the question of, like, well, couldn't they get someone else to do it? Or,
I don't know, just a regular cell sword, or you know,
right, right. And so if the quest takes them out of town, then maybe that's a reason, like, they don't have the people to, like, venture outside town or whatever. But that's perfectly reasonable. But if you're just thinking like, well, they rightly deduced that I was railroading them, and I don't like that, you're going down the road to being one of those power hungry, power drunk GMs that just like no, let's just I decide the story and I do. It's like they rightly deduced that you were vanguarding it, and sounds like based on their attitude that they might have had a little bit of animus about it. Like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna like make us go on these quests, and it's like, well, I can't make you do anything, but this is the key marquee thing that's important here in this town. But try to just to blossom out a little bit from. He doesn't list what the mission was, so
Hmm.
it's kind of hard for me to offer any examples of what he might be like, how it might affect the rest of the greater world. So it can ostensibly be the same quest, takes them to the same place with a similar goal from a different quest giver, and it might not be railroaded, especially if there are multiple, and that's the tactic I would choose because, frankly, most quests, the what of it is not really the thing so much typically. It's usually the why of it and the where of it. Oh, I built this dungeon out. It's like, right, but isn't there another reason that they can go to this particular locale, or why they're going to this locale could be different. But yeah, the what of it is hardly ever all that important. That's just an impetus to kind of getting into the motives of why certain characters want certain things done
Yeah.
and what they're trying to achieve with those particular actions.
All right, David. Hey, shoot us an email back. Let us know how everything turned out and uh, if what we brought up works at all for you, and or if you want us to follow up on anything, just let us know, man. I'd like to see where this is going. Hope that it works out for you and that your group just doesn't fall apart after this.
I like how much he owns. I was lying. I was totally pissed. I had nothing. It's like, okay, it's
No, that
good.
was
I mean, at
awesome.
least you're being frank about it.
Yeah, and even
Um,
when he was just like, I might have been a little butthurt because I added this little bit at the end there. Like, yeah, we've
but
all been
but but
there.
I don't think that necessarily communicates. Um, try to lean into that, right? Like maybe you were a little butthurt, but take it as a thing like that. It says something about the owner of the Thieves Guild, and then you can build out his personality and his pathology from that. Maybe
Ooh, yeah.
you hadn't really thought very hard about what type of guy he was because he's just a quest giver. But now in that one statement, there's some things nestled in. Maybe he's petty. Maybe he's vindictive. Maybe, and you can kind of cobble together a personality, and that'll give you motives for how he reacts going forward and what the Thieves Guild does as a reaction to this. Otherwise, you'll just be all over the map. And maybe after it could even be a good opportunity. Is like, well, is he stubborn and vindictive, or is he like a calculated businessman? Maybe after some interludes where the Thieves Guild, um, rubs up against the PCs in some way, or rival adventurers like have some sort of whatever, and they have a bounty on their head. Maybe there is an opportunity there to kind of smooth things over. He says, well, now like now we know where we both stand, and maybe we can smooth some stuff over. But then again, maybe I'm just taking plot beats from my own adventure that I've been running, and saying like that's a really great way to go. Is like let's just do what David does in his adventure. But yeah, you can cobble together a personality based on that one comment, so that if he behaves consistently like that going forward, you can kind of hide the brushstrokes that maybe you were being a little petty because you're just like, well, no, that's just the way he is.
Mhm.
And he will, if you show that that's the way he is continually over the course of the rest of the adventure, then you don't need to kind of retcon that he was, that you were butthurt or whatever.
All right, let's get into a little something that I cooked up uh, about a week or two ago. I saw this on an Instagram reel where two guys put together a video game weapon tier list.
Sure.
Uh, so came up with all these different weapons from different video games, and they made their top 10 list. And every time they name one out, you say, like if I said Master Sword, Link's Master Sword, and you said, ooh, that's a good one. I don't want to put it at number one because as soon as you put it in this section, it stays there. You can't move it again. So you got to really think about where it's going to go on your list.
Oh,
And
so you don't know the rest of them before.
right, and I
Okay.
thought this would be kind of cool. And
Yeah.
I stuck to D&D because that's what both David and I know best when it comes to lore, artifacts, weapons, classes, adventures, all that stuff. So I stuck with D&D, and I have 2 here, which I think David might have a lot of fun with, and I asked him to make one for me because I wanted to
did.
get in on the fun as well and make my own list. So I'll go first in
Okay.
order to kick this off, but I will give you the option, David. Which one would you like to start with? Top 10 legendary weapons in D&D, or top 10 adventures of D&D?
Ooh. Let's go adventures. I probably need
Okay.
to think through the weapons a little more. I'm not as familiar with all the super iconic weapons.
All right. Let's start with some of these you might not even heard of, so it might be okay. You might be able to just drop these down to the bottom.
Mm,
All right, let's start with the Sunless Citadel. Third edition came out, classic low-level dungeon crawl, introducing some iconic D&D lore. Also came out in the fifth edition via the Yawning Portal.
hmm So it needs to go in a position between 1 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to put that in either 3 or 4. Um, I'm going to go I'm going to be safe and put it in 4. Fourth
Okay.
position.
All right, Sunless Citadel in
Here, let me
4. All
I'm
right.
gonna do my own little something, 2 something, 3 something, 4 Sunless Citadel, just so I don't forget where I am here.
All right. The classic Death Trap Tomb of Horrors from 1978, AD&D, the first competitive adventure, uh, Tomb of Horrors.
Hmm. Tomb of Horrors is pretty good. Um, I'm gonna put that in 3 spot.
I think that's a good spot. All right. Next up, let's do.
Mostly because of how iconic it is. Like, I
It
don't
is.
necessarily think it's as enjoyable as Sunless Citadel, but it is. It sets the bar for Death Trap dungeons, and
I
so
will agree with that. Yeah,
so.
it's very iconic, but it is a slog to get through as well.
hmm
All right. Something a little bit newer, Lost Mine of Phandelver.
Lost Mine of Phandelver goes into position.
2 position. All right. I would agree with that as well. One of my favorites, great introduction adventure.
All right, so I'm rounding out the top 5 here pretty
Yep.
quick.
Keep on the Borderlands.
Ooh, that's a 4th
The
edition.
uh, well, this one, the one
Oh
I
no,
was going with,
that's Shadowfell.
yep. This is Keep on the Borderlands. Came from Basic D&D,
Yep.
1979.
Ooh,
This is the first sandbox frontier setting with the infamous Caves of Chaos.
yes. Um. Ooh, it's tough. Keep on the Borderlands goes 6th spot.
Okay. It is also a very short adventure,
hmm
and it is very fast and loose, as it was kind of like an introductory adventure for original White Box.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. This one I had to just put in there because it is a classic, and people really liked it for some reason in second edition. Dead Gods. You've probably never even heard of this because it's a planescape adventure. A mind-bending, plane-hopping epic dealing with the resurrection of the god Orcus.
Dead Gods. I'm trying to remember. It's a AD&D adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, from 1997. Planescape. The Planescape setting.
Mm, yeah, I kind of vaguely remember this, but I gotta say that if it's not something that's coming into my mind and I never bothered playing, um I'm gonna put it at the 10 spot.
Okay. I think that's actually a very good spot for it. I would have put that there myself. White Plume Mountain. AD&D 1979, quirky, puzzle-filled dungeon crawl featuring legendary weapons and bizarre challenges.
I think White Plume Mountain goes in 8 spot.
Okay.
I've always found it to be kind of overrated. The dungeon itself doesn't make any sense. It,
Damn.
it's just like it's got cool stuff in it, but it's like, how is this dungeon here? Why is this dungeon here?
Yeah.
What are we doing with it? Like, it's just I don't.
It's the same thing when they brought back well, they didn't bring it back, but they pretty much renamed it to Dungeon of the Mad Mage for 5th
Mhm.
edition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or underneath White Plume Mountain they also had for 5th edition. That was the same thing. It was just like there's an endless dungeon down here that was made by a crazy wizard, but
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
And why does
So
it
it's
seem to
like
go on forever?
I'm not really in those big super dungeons. The White Plume Mountain's not a super dungeon, and it does have some iconic weapons. I would venture to guess, actually, that both Wave and Whelm are probably on your weapon list as well. Um, but but yeah, 8 spot.
All right. Did I? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I thought I might have had one too many here. Okay. So this is another one that I remembered from way back in the day, reading through Dungeon Magazine. I never read this adventure, but I always thought it was cool because it was different than what I was used to. The Hidden Shrine of Tamacon. It's an AD&D adventure from 1980, Mesoamerican-inspired dungeon full of deadly traps, poisonous gas, and intricate puzzles.
Um,
I always thought it was cool because it was Mesoamerican uh, kind of themed, and we didn't see that again until recently with oh god, not Tomb of Horrors. Now I got Tomb of Horrors stuck in my head, but that new one for 5th edition. Oh god, Tomb of Annihilation. There we go. Thank
yeah.
you.
Um, I don't know how to spell Tamaka, whatever it is.
Tamoachan.
Yeah, that's actually, whether you are aware of it or not, the last little dungeon crawl that we did in our D&D adventure is a retrofitted version of that adventure.
Really?
Those are the maps. The
No
maps that you
shit.
were on is
Is that
from
it?
that. It's from that. Yeah, and I took a lot of the texture and flavor. If you recall, it kind of had like a heavy Mesoamerican theme
Yeah.
to it, with the undead, the mummy centaur and shit.
Oh,
Um,
that's wow. That's fucking cool.
yeah, so I retrofitted that adventure because I think it's a good, straightforward dungeon crawl. I'm putting it in 7 spot.
All right. All right. Next up, all right. One of my absolute favorites, just because I love this series. Uh, it's the one that I think put Gary on the map as an adventure writer. The Temple of Elemental Evil, AD&D 1985. The archetype of the mega dungeon, packed with factions, mystery, and danger.
Huh. Yeah, I wish I could have. I probably should have put that in. No, I'm gonna put it in 9 spot.
Okay.
Um, I like it all right. Um, but I like the theme of it and I like the quest of it. But from my recollection, the actual playthrough can be a bit of a slog at
It
times.
can be.
Um,
And I much prefer the third edition follow up, Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil.
yes, and if you had said that one as like, I probably would have been regretting not having a higher spot for it.
Mm.
But the the themes, the plot, the concept are all pretty good, but some of the actual like down and dirty, like what's in each room and what the mechanics are and what the
Yeah.
PCs are doing gets a little muddy, and so people that are running that would likely need to compress it and kind of shore up some of the dead spots in the adventure because from my recollection there's spots where it's like just like I was saying before, commits the party foul of like vanguarding the action behind one particular thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the party can just kind of be exploring empty rooms, looking for some lever, right? Like just fucking, I don't know, I'm just an example, but just it can get the adventure kind of screeching to a halt while the players are doing the classic kind of OSR problem solving, um, but some of it's like pretty arcane, and if you don't have really savvy OSR players, they can it can sap the fun out of it because you can spend a whole session just sitting in a couple of empty rooms with no enemies, no traps or anything, just trying to figure
Hmm.
out what you're supposed to be doing. I don't like that sort of thing. I'm glad it's gone.
And you are correct. With the original Temple of Elemental Evil, there it could get really muddy because they're traversing the four elemental planes, and
Hmm.
it can get a little weird.
Yeah.
So I'm with you here. Number
Yeah,
nine.
they don't detail exactly, if I recall, there's not much guidance for the GM as to like what overland adventuring, like wilderness travel is like in these different planes.
Not
And
one bit.
and so you don't have a lot of like texture and everything to go on. So unless you're super imaginative, which I expect to not have to be super imaginative when I'm playing a boxed adventure, I should kind of have an idea of like what's where. And it seems like during some points of the adventure, and again, it's been years since I played it. Might have been with you actually. Um, some of it's just like there's almost so much convoluted mechanics for a certain aspect, and then you walk through a door out into the wilderness and there's nothing. There's a brief
Hmm.
paragraph kind of describing
Yep.
like what the landscape is like, and you're like, okay, I kind of wanted less over here and more over here, and
Yeah.
it's just, but it is probably deserves to be on the list for its just OSR themes and
Hmm.
everything. So
It was Gary's first go round, so I had to put it on there.
yeah,
All right. Uh, we're gonna go for uh, the penultimate. Let's see. Which one do I want to go for? Because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll do it. Curse of Strahd, fifth edition.
number one spot. I was
Uh,
saving it for.
I had to put it on there.
And if I and I'm saving 5 spot for Isle of Dread. I don't know if that's what it is or not.
No, I did not pick Isle of
Oh,
Dread. I
okay. Then I
picked.
might have mucked up. I was saving 5 spot for Isle of Dread because I like that adventure a lot, and I think
Nope,
it's
I
really
thought
good.
about. I was gonna put Isle of Dread on there earlier, but
Yeah.
I wanted to put something a little bit different just in case you've never run this one either, or even read anything about it. Against the Giants, AD&D 1978.
I,
Giant
I
slaying at an epic scale, laying groundwork for later campaigns.
I think I played through the fourth edition retrofit for it with you,
Yep.
which is a very solid adventure. But I couldn't comment on the original. But I guess it's just gonna go in 5 spot.
And I think that's a good spot for it too, because Against the Giants it's a nice, again, very forward-facing adventure that
Yeah,
it knows what it wants, it knows what it does, and it's a what is Kurt's favorite saying?
the thing on the tin.
It's the thing on the tin.
Yeah.
All right, this is actually, I think, I would be very very close to your list here. Number one, Curse of Strahd. Number two, Lost Mine of Phandelver. I agree with that. Number three, Tomb of Horrors. I might swap number three, Tomb of Horrors with Against the Giants.
I would
Uh,
probably, if I had a choice, I would probably swap it with Sunless Citadel. I think Sunless Citadel is a
Tomb of
really good
Horrors
adventure.
and Sunless Citadel.
Yeah, I would put Sunless Citadel 3. I almost put it at 3,
Mm.
and Tomb of Horrors at 4.
Yep. And other than that, I don't know. I might swap Temple of Elemental Evil and Against the Giants, just because of how iconic Temple of Elemental Evil is. Other than that, I'm actually in very I'm in agreement with you on the rest of your list here.
I
Well done,
figured.
sir.
All right, you ready for my list?
Yes.
Okay, so my list, I chose iconic D&D monsters.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
So I have them numbered 1 to 10, but I did not order them. I just kind of put them in this as I um, thought of them. So let's just bounce around, shall we? Um, First monster is the Baylor.
So Baylor, all of us automatically go and think of Lord of the Rings when we think of the Baylor.
Yep, that's why it's iconic.
Oh man, I'm gonna throw the Baylor, just because a giant demon with awesome weapons, and I remember looking through the monster manual and seeing that thing and being like, "This is what I think of when I think of what I should have been thinking as a devil, but it's a demon." I'm
Yeah,
gonna put it at number three.
number 3. That's about where I thought you would put it, because I suspect you're Saving some top spots for things that you
Oh
suspect are
yeah.
on the list. All right. Next up is the owl bear.
Oh man, you want to talk about iconic and kind of just like made for a book cover for D&D these days, specifically the owl bear. I'm gonna have to put the owl bear, and it's kind of like your very first big, almost like boss monster.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put it at number 5.
number 5. Okay. That probably feels about right so far. All right. What about the basilisk?
Oh, the basilisk has sentimental meaning to
Oh
me.
yeah. I knew
Uh,
I knew it would.
yeah, it goes back to my very first character I ever made in our AD&D game. We thought I died, or the entire group died to a basilisk. Luckily, David forgot to give me a saving throw against being petrified, and I ended up coming out on top. So, fuck, man. Unfortunately, god damn it. I can't put it at 1 or 2, but I'm going to put it just because it's real close to me. I'm going to put it at number 4.
All right. So you got 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
All right. That is not how you spell basilisk. Basilisk. Word program doesn't even. What the hell even is that,
Uh,
bro? I don't even know what that is. It doesn't even correct it because this is like
I
this
think
is
Google
not.
Docs, I put mine in, and Google Docs was just like, sure.
Yeah. All right. All right. Here we go now. Getting into some others. The purple worm.
Oh, another just iconic. You put it on the cover of fucking damn near every monster manual. Oh my god. And it's like everybody's first gargantuan enemy.
Yeah.
Purple worm's a big one. God damn it. Now I'm kind of wish I would have.
I think any of these could be in the top 5.
Yeah, man,
10
this
is
is
hard.
tough. Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to put it at number 2 because it
Ooh.
is your first gargantuan. For a lot of people, it's their first gargantuan enemy, and purple worms are just fun to play.
I think you're gonna regret that
I
spot.
probably am.
Okay. Purple worm. Up next. The mimic.
Oh, the mimic is fun, but it can also be a complete kick in your dick during an adventure, and I think it is. Players get a kick out of it just as, but not as much as the GM. The GM always gets a bigger kick out of the mimic. Uh, so I'm going to put that at number 7 right now, where it's a
7.
fun gimmick, but it is. I know a lot more people are recognize it these days because the mimic has become kind of like a no pun intended a faceless face of D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we're getting into some other ones now.
Okay.
The mind flayer.
Oh my god. So a little secret to you out there, the mind flayer is one of my favorite creatures of all time. Not only because it's a fucking Lovecraftian creature.
I was gonna say because it's Lovecraftian, that's why you
It's
love it
very,
so much.
it is a Lovecraftian creature, and I love Lovecraftian creatures. But these things I feel are like they are like so good to be like they are the big bad of adventures. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
they are the masterminds
Yeah.
of a lot of the best stuff.
Yeah. It's like
Um,
it's like a Lovecraftian nightmare mixed with a Cenobite.
yep. I'm going to put them at number 6.
Number 6. All right. All right. So then we come to the red dragon.
The Red Dragon, of course, is your centerfold for D&D. Uh, it is the dragon that everybody thinks about when you say Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I cannot, in good conscience, put them anywhere in the top because I don't know. I feel like dragons as an enemy has become kind of a meme itself, and they
Okay.
become not as dangerous as they used to be. So I'm going to put them at number 8.
Well, and also it's not particular, unlike the Mind Flayer, um, or even the Purple Worm. It's not something that's unique to D&D even.
Right. Yep.
So I get that. How about the Gelatinous Cube?
The gelatinous cube, the one that everybody loves to hate. Gelatinous cube, as much as they're fun and everybody just like, oh, fucking gelatinous cube, I walked into another gelatinous cube. They're going to number 10 right away.
All right, yeah.
Gelatinous.
All right, so we got just have number 9 and number 1 left.
Mhm.
What about the Lich?
That one is going to be my number 1. I fucking love liches, and I know I'm gonna hate myself for it, but I cannot give a lich the number 9 spot. Not in my
Yeah,
eyes. The
but
lich
this
is the ancient sorcerer that is there to just bring evil and horrible things, and they are the perfect bad guy.
this is why you're going to regret Purple Worm at number 2 because that leaves 9 spot for the Beholder.
Ah, damn it! Yeah, you are. You're right. Just like the Mind Flayer, these beholders, I love just weird creatures that are, these esoteric things that nobody really gets, and they're just very alien to everything, and I fucking love them. Oh man, the Beholder. Yep, I do. I regret it.
Let's see. What's my order is Beholder, Mind Flayer, Lich, then I'm probably on your Baylor, Red Dragon, Basilisk. Yeah, Basilisk, Owlbear, Basilisk, Owlbear, Gelatinous Cube. Nah, I didn't put Purple Worm in there yet.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, fuck. Okay. Purple Worm goes in 4. Baylor goes in 5. Red Dragon in 6. Basilisk in 7. Owlbear in 8. Gelatinous Cube in 9. And Mimic in 10. That's my
Yeah.
order.
All right. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, I think. I don't think there's a more iconic monster than the Beholder because again, it's not only is it a very powerful enemy that isn't just and I also left like unique monsters like the Demigorgon and the Tarisk and all that
Sure.
off of there, obviously because they're singular monsters. So of course the list would just be all epic monsters like that, the Kraken and Orcus and shit like that. But as far as like a top tier enemy that is very unique to D&D. It's not from mythology or anywhere else. It's a D&D creation. It has a lot of complexity with all its eye stalks. It's incredibly smart, so it can be a mastermind, but it's also a difficult thing to fight. It's not about its it's not about its minions per se, but it itself is just a fearsome opponent.
Yeah. Hell, speaking of, I almost brought it up with the emailer, head of the Thieves Guild in Waterdeep, Xanathar, the Beholder.
Yeah, he's a Beholder. So yeah, he's a good kind of puppet master because he's really smart, but he's also just like a monster that's like a fearsome monster. And usually things aren't one or the other. Like a Mind Flayer is a good puppet master, but isn't remotely as powerful as a Purple Worm or a Baylor. But
Right.
I think that Lich is probably, a good second spot because it fills both of those roles too. Like he's incredibly smart and scheming and operating behind the shadows. But like when you face off against him, it's not like well a Baylor would be more tough. It's like well no, like a Lich is like a fucking 20 challenge rating or something like that, 18
Yeah.
challenge rating. They're really really difficult to
They're
kill.
powerful.
So yeah, but I think the Beholder just for quirkiness alone, and also liches exist in other mythologies too. So that I think that's probably why I would put the Beholder at the top spot there.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Beholder, God damn it. Yep, that's why I love these sort of lists, because that
Yeah.
is, I wish Beholder, I could have put that a lot higher.
Yeah.
All right, I want to do the top 10 legendary weapons. So this is not artifacts. This is
Okay.
only weapons. So you don't have to worry about, yeah, like fucking Twinkle and, whatever Driss, his swords were and all
Right.
that.
Right. Okay.
These are normal, but they are like the legendary weapons that people strive for in their
Sure.
adventures. Which we're going to start with the one that every paladin thirsts for, the Holy Avenger.
Hmm. The Holy Avenger is a very iconic. I. I feel I'm forgetting something. I'm gonna put it in 3 spot.
Okay. Holy Avenger in number 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Up next, we are going to go with the Mace of Disruption.
Ooh. Mace of Disruption. I am gonna put in 6 spot.
Okay. Mace of Disruption, for all those that don't know, devastating against fiends and undead, capable of making the undead fear you and your very presence.
It's a cleric's Holy Avenger.
Pretty much. Next one is going to be the Sun Sword. I didn't put the Sun Blade. I just put a Sun. Oh no, not the Sun Sword. A Sun Blade. Because there is a
Sunblade.
difference.
Yeah, one's a unique sentient magic item
Yep.
that happens to be a Sunblade.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put that in 9 spot. It's basically a lightsaber.
Yep.
Which is cool, but really beyond that, it's just kind of like I feel like it's just kind of like, well, how can we figure out a way to get a lightsaber into D&D?
That's exactly what it is. I think that because Ravenloft came out in like the right around the time the Empire. No, it came out when Jedi came out. Return of the Jedi. I think it was like right before Return of the Jedi, and Star Wars Mania was in full effect. And I think you nailed it. That
Yeah,
yeah, we want a lightsaber in the game.
I'm gonna put it in 9 spot.
All right. How about the classic flame tongue weapon?
Ooh, geez, that's good. I Flame Tongue, I am putting at 4 spot.
Okay. All right.
It's a really fantasy themed kind of
Yep.
like it, even if you had never played D&D, you would intuit that that's a thing, right?
Yeah. A sword that bursts into flames. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. On its opposite end, Frostbrand.
That's 10 spot.
I agree with you.
I mean, the fire is cool, but the inverse of it is just kind of stagnant.
Yeah.
It's not a very good weapon. Even that I'm surprised to learn that even has legendary status.
Yeah. Flame Tongue and Frostbrand are two that kind of go hand in hand, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one, Oath. Oh, the Oath Bow.
Ooh, yeah. Oathbow is good. I feel like I'm forgetting something that could go in 2 spots, so I'm gonna put Oathbow in 5 spot.
Okay. Oath Bow. Every Ranger's wet dream. The Ranger Holy Avenger.
Yeah.
All right. This one, the Thief's Holy Avenger, the Luck Blade.
Yeah, Luckblade's kind of weak to me. I'm gonna put that in 8 spot.
This is the one I want to make sure that I said that this one is. So not only does it give you, it's a +2 weapon. Not only does it give you the luck feature, but it also has 1d3 wishes.
Oh, that's right. It has wishes in it.
Yep.
Oh God. Okay, that's
Just
gotta
in
go
case that
2.
changes anything.
It's gotta go 2 spot then if it's got wishes in it.
Yep. It's got 1d3 wishes.
I forgot that I thought that was called something else actually that had the wishes in it.
No, it's just a different version of the luck blade. It's still a luck blade, but not all of
Mm.
them have the wishes in it.
Okay, that's got to go 2 spot. Then anything with the wish in it is
All right.
actually it could arguably go 1 spot, but I know what I'm reserving that for. So
All right. The dancing sword. Throw it into the air and it fights beside you on its own, freeing up for spells or shields.
if I didn't already use up the 10 spot on the frost blade, I'd put that there. It's a stupid weapon. Eight
You got
eight
six,
spot.
seven, eight.
No, I have 6 already. I have 7, 8, 1.
All right.
So it's an 8 spot. So I got 7 and 1. I'm hoping that what the next one is going to just naturally be 7.
Well, I'm gonna give you. We got 2 left here.
Yep.
Uh, I'm gonna give you the one. Uh, that might be it, but we don't know. The Vorpal sword.
Vorpal Sword's 1. Everybody's fucking saving it for
Yep.
1.
The description of it is always the same. The Decapitator Supreme. One lucky crit, and even the biggest monster loses its head. Literally.
Yep. It's got to be 1. Super iconic, super damaging, and even if a GM decides you can't cut the monster's head off, it still does like an extra 68 damage or whatever it is. So
Yep. And then the last one that I have here is kind of like the minor version of what is it? Black Razor, the 9 Live Stealer, a sword that has a taste for souls, and the perfect rip can hit life right out of the enemy.
yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's got to go in 7 spot. Let's see if I would regret putting that. No, I think that's probably actually I'm pretty with the exception of the dancing sword, like the dancing sword I think should be 10, then the frost brand, then the sunblade. But then the 1 through 7 I'm pretty happy with the way they came out. The 9 live stealer is probably a more potent weapon
Mm.
than the mace of disruption. But I place it higher there because it's like there aren't a lot of one. It's an iconic weapon, and it's not. So many of the weapons are like for mostly melee characters, fighters and barbarians, like the Vorpal sword and the 9 live stealer, the Sunblade, the Flame Tongue. And the Mace of Disruption is just unique because it's clearly for clerics.
Yep. Yep.
And so it's for a spellcaster that gives you some bite to your melee prowess, and I really like that. It has a lot of character for that reason, and so I think it's fine where it is. I mean, the 9 life stealer is probably a more potent weapon. It's probably even more potent than the flame tongue or even the oath bow as well.
Yeah, but I
Um,
bet you if you asked anybody these days, do you know of the 9 Live Stealer? Not a lot of people would know. They might
it,
know
it,
Black Razor.
it always reminds me of a Soul Reaver from Legacy of Kain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is. Is it kind of
Yep.
saps life off? I think does it give you? Does it trap people's souls or give you health or some shit like that?
So
It's
luckily,
pretty.
I kept a link to all these. So you gain a +2 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls. Life stealing. The weapon has 1d8 +1 charges. When you attack a creature that has fewer than 100 hit points with this weapon and roll a 20 on a d20 for the attack roll, the creature must succeed a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be slain instantly as the sword tears its life force from its body. Constructs and undead succeed on the save automatically. The weapon loses 1 charge if the creature is slain. Then when the weapon has no charges remaining, it loses its property completely.
Yeah, so it's a nerfed version of the Vorpal sword
Yep.
from a different flavor.
Mhm.
So that is really really potent. And it's cool, but
But the
you
Vorpal
know,
sword
it's
doesn't care how many hit points you have.
no, it does not. And it also doesn't have any charges or anything like
No.
that. It just kills everything that it hits. like,
Yep.
and so I mean, I could see saying that like the DM saying you can't cut the Tarisk's head off with it or any colossal
Sure.
monster. Um, Maybe like an ancient dragon or something like that. I could see not whatever. And also it does have the notable like just the Vorpal sword doesn't explicitly say it doesn't work on undeads and constructs, but it does say it kills the creature unless it can survive without a head.
Right. Yep.
Which constructs and undead should be able to. So
Yep. I love that. When you attack this creature when you attack a creature that has at least one head with this weapon and roll a 20 on the attack roll, you cut off one of the creature's heads. The creature dies if it can't survive without a lost head. Yeah,
Yeah.
a creature is immune if this effect immune to this effect if it is immune to slashing damage as well.
Yes. Which, as far as I'm aware, there are no monsters that are immune to slashing damage.
No, doesn't have or needs a head.
Yes.
Oh,
Right,
here
like
you
a-
go. I never knew this. Has legendary actions.
Yeah, that's the to indemnify against slaying things like the Tarisk
Yeah,
or like the
yep.
Demigorgon or whatever. So yeah, if it has legendary, I don't think it's layer actions, is it? It's legendary
Nope,
actions only.
legendary actions.
It has legendary actions. So like a Lich, for instance, you can't kill with a Vorpal Sword.
Yep. Or
The
even it says,
Tarisk.
yep. Or the GM decides that the creature is too big for its head to be cut off with this weapon.
Right. And frankly, if it is that big and that fearsome, then it probably has legendary actions anyway, but they're just kind of like they're just kind of nerfing against that. Yeah, like something like a purple worm though, you would probably just cut it in half, right?
Yeah,
Like it
yep.
doesn't need a head. You just cut it in half. Or,
And this is still cool that they add there. Such a creature instead takes an extra 68 slashing damage from the hit. So not only do you crit, but it's an additional 68 slashing damage.
right on top of your crit damage already. So but yeah, if it's immune to slashing damage, then it would be immune to that damage too anyway. So
Right.
but yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. Oh, God, it's such good fun playing with the tier list. What about all you fuckers? Where's my outro music? Oh, yeah. What about all you fuckers out there? What is your tier list? Why don't you send us in what you think? Did we do okay? I think with my weapons, what I would have done, I would have taken Dancing Sword and put it at the bottom and then shifted everything up. No, 9 Life Stealer and Dancing Sword. Dancing Sword 10, 9 Life Stealer 9, shift everything up. That would be
Yeah.
mine. Send it to inside the GM studio at gmail.com. Let us know, what is your tier list? Let us know if you ever want us to do another tier list. Sure, fuck it, why not? Come and watch us at twitch.tv/inside the GM studio, usually every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. But for this week, for Inside the GM studio, I've been your host, Matt.
And I am David.
A good night.